the volume nice and loud, cause we are controlling transmission with dance beats and R&B. You're in the mix with Lil Drummer Girl with your host, Dawn Marie.
It's Little Drummer Girl here today at the Villain Arts Tattoo Convention down in Tampa, and I have Blasphemy, Dr. Blasphemy here, who actually runs this whole show. And he has been gracious enough to spend some time with me to give you guys some info on how you can actually promote some events as well. So Carl, tell me, how did you get started in this business?
Actually, I was DJing as a kid, and then I started an apprenticeship at Tattoo Charlie's in Baltimore. And then got out of the tattooing because I got married and had kids, and back then tattooing wasn't what it is today. So I stopped that, started working back more into DJing and working radio. And then came out of 98 Rock in Baltimore and Westwood One Radio in Baltimore, BAL-TV, to start doing tattoo conventions.
Wow.
A promoter came to D.C., Brian Everett, who's like one of the godfathers of tattooing, and Tramp, who owns Eternal Tattoo Machines and Eternal Inks. They put on a convention in D.C. and they hired me to come in and be their host or MC for the weekend.
Awesome.
And I'd never done it before. It's just, I guess I crushed it because they took me out on the road, and then one promoter saw me, another one saw me, and it rolled downhill to finally Troy hired me to come into Villain Arts, Troy Temple. I started working with him back at his first Baltimore show. And the man is a genius.
Wow.
Troy is just the best of the best when it comes to tattooing. I'm not saying that just because I work for him.
Right.
The guy really puts a lot of thought into what he's doing in these promotions and productions. And he brought me on as his MC and started hosting the shows with him. And now I've moved into management for Troy, to where I do pretty much everything.
Wow. And I see that you guys are just like doing shows all over the nation. So how often are they happening? I mean, is it every month? It seems like it's like...
Well, it's growing for us, even more so than it's been. We host the largest tattoo event in the country. Troy puts on the Philadelphia Tattoo Arts Convention.
Oh, wow, that must be...
And we have 1,000 artist and vendor booths there. Wow. We have 30,000 people walk through the door in one weekend. It's
That's
incredible.
A lot of
it's like a little city in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Next year, we're going to be up to anywhere between 20 and 22 shows.
That's
so
a lot.
on average, we'll be doing about 2 a month next year.
Wow.
Nobody really does anything in December because it's too close to Christmas, but we're into November now with all of our shows, and we're going international next year as we jump the border into Canada.
Nice.
And partner up with somebody in Canada to do a Toronto show.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's going to be fun.
Oh, that's going to be just probably the first one they've ever had there.
Well, they've had conventions there
Have
before, but they've had nothing like the production that Troy puts on with Villain Arts. This is a well thought out beast. It really is.
I was going to say, like, I know just because I do a lot of event planning myself, and it's so difficult to put on an event, especially this size.
Right.
So, how many people do you have on your team that handle? Is it a small team? Or?
There's several levels, from the people in the office back in Philadelphia who do all the email and stuff like that. Then we have a social media team, which I help out with as well. And then we have the workers, the warehouse workers who load the trucks for us, and because he also owns a pipe and drape business.
Wow.
So he does other events while this one is running.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we have the road crew, like Dominic, Neil, Frank, myself, Harrison, and they're the tight crew who you can pretty much trust with anything.
Nice. How long have you guys been together?
I've been with Troy, God, at least 10 years.
Nice.
Soap as well. The other guys are newer hires who have been working the past few years. But he's got a team of people around him who've been around him for 10, 20 years plus.
So that's awesome. So yeah, once you have a great team in place, it's golden.
Yeah, some of the faces change from time to time, but it's only the better. And we just hired a new videographer to do all of our videos now, and it's really helping on our social media. We're building a YouTube channel.
I was just going to ask you about your social media that you mentioned earlier. So what is your social media channels that they can follow you on and YouTube?
Mine personally is Dr. Blasphemy, Dr. Blasphemy, Blasphemy. or Carl Blasphemy when I'm not kicked off of Facebook because he banned me for everything. Now for the shows, you want to go to villanarts.com, VILLAIN arts.com.
Cool, because I always spell it the other way around.
Everybody does, yeah. It's like, wow, it's one of those words in the English language that confuses us.
And you don't use it all the time. So
it's like when people come down here to Tampa and they're like, hey, let's go to Ybor City. No, it's an E. It's the one time the Y is a vowel. But go to villanarts.com and you can link to all of our pages. Because we have the Villain Arts page, but each city that we go to has their own separate Facebook page.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you can come into Houston, Kansas City, Denver, Wildwood, Baltimore, Philly, Tampa,
Where
Fort Lauderdale.
Wildwood,
Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, it is New Jersey.
Yeah,
okay,
it's right on the beach.
Talking about New Jersey?
That is a beautiful show. We're in a glass, basically, convention center on the boardwalk. And you look out the back of the glass, and it's the beach.
Oh, nice.
So that's a very beautiful show. It's almost like a vacation show for a lot of our artists.
Absolutely. Do you do that in the summertime?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
nice.
do. This year we did Wildwood August 10th through 12th.
So
Yeah, it happened. It'll happen again
busy.
next year in August around the same weekend. We're adding a couple more shows in this upcoming year, Dallas and Toronto. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
a couple more. I'm not sure what I can say we're adding now or not. We haven't announced a few
because
of
it's
them.
not done yet. I hear you.
And we're looking at some more stuff down here in Florida.
Because I mean, there's so much going on down here. It's just amazing how it's on fire. I'm from New York, so it's just.
I'm from Baltimore.
Okay, so you know the deal. And it's just growing and growing and growing.
And Troy is out of Philadelphia. He was born, raised till about 18 or so in Milwaukee, out in Wisconsin.
Oh wow!
And then he moved to Philadelphia, worked with Philadelphia Eddie, and Eddie started tattooing back in the early 50s.
Oh wow!
And then he built this. He got the Philadelphia show from Eddie. Eddie passed it on to him, and then he turned that one show into this big successful. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's pretty amazing. We have a family of artists that follow us around.
I was going to ask you that. How do you find, do local artists just find you, or do you have a list that you constantly use the same artists?
Well, we have a lot of artists that try to do our shows. We review all the work to make sure they are quality licensed tattoo artists. And then every artist that comes into our room is licensed through the health department in the city we're in.
Oh, nice.
So they have to pass all the health department requirements.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is. And we try to keep it as safe as possible.
Yes, because there's so many things that could go wrong.
So we have artists that will hit us up a lot to come in and join our shows, and it's pretty easy to do. I mean, we're open. We don't make a list and say only certain people can come to our show. We don't blackball anybody, but we do pick the best of the best.
Oh, that's awesome.
So in here right now, you have the best local shops to this area, along with the national artists, the international artists we have here, and then the TV stars.
Oh, wow.
So we have a Black Ink crew here, Ink Master, Tattoo Nightmares. Big Gus is here.
Oh, really?
Big Gus is such an amazing person. And, you can see him on TV and Big Gus's personality on TV. He's a fun guy on TV, but when you meet him in person, it's still that same fun guy. He's not playing a character.
So it's really him.
Yeah, you get that close interaction like that.
Very cool. So do they do a lot of your shows?
Yes, they do. The Ink Masters, Best Ink, Black Ink Crew, Tattoo Rescue, Tattoo Nightmares, they're at 90 to 95% of our show. There are Ink Masters at every show.
That's awesome.
Black Ink Crew probably makes 98% of the shows or so. They miss one or two because of filming for the TV show. But there's always at least a dozen TV stars or more in the room. And then we've been bringing in movie stars in the past few years. We brought in Robert Mutes from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, wow.
Robert Lasardo, he's been on NCIS, Nip Talk, Psych, and a bunch of other stuff. Robert Lasardo is a sweetheart. We've had Reverend Horton Heat play.
Wow. So you're getting a nice group of people coming in.
Yeah, we try to make it interesting for everybody. We've had face painting for kids. We have artists.
I was wondering about that because, I saw there's a couple of little kids around, but, I know it's not for children, but...
We encourage you to bring the little heads out. We try to provide the safest environment possible for them. I mean, this is a tattoo convention, so they're going to see some stuff, like somebody with their shirt off, but the nipples are covered.
Right.
We have
this guy's hanging from hooks behind us. I can't help but look. But,
oh, yeah, we do live human suspension.
Reminds me of Chris Angel, my friend Chris Angel.
Yeah. That's hooks going through people's body, and they suspend their full body weight from different parts of their body. This guy's got, I know they can't see it right now, so I'm trying to describe this. He's got 4 hooks going through the skin and his shoulder blades. And these are hooks about the size you would use to fish for sharks.
Fish, right? Oh, yeah.
No, not for fish, for sharks.
For sharks, okay.
Except they're not, barbed. And they're supporting, I'd say he weighs about 200 pounds, maybe 210. All of his weight there. The guy at the bottom with the gloves on is Steve Truitt from Ascension Body Modification. They do the suspension at all of our shows. That's another thing as part of making it fun for everybody. In addition to the tattooing and all the artwork, we have vendors here. So there's clothing, there's jewelry, there's piercers. And then we put on shows. We have a contortionist, Alec Zam. He's a very funny comedian contortionist.
Oh, wow.
We have side shows like the Old City Sideshow, the world famous Enigma. And that guy's been on X-Files, South Park, Release, Believe It or Not, National Geographic, on and on and on.
Wow.
So give you something to do, even if you're not getting tattooed, you still got a reason to come down.
Yeah, I love that.
You're not going to, well, actually, I can't say you're not going to find bedazzled jeans here. You will. There'll be somebody selling bedazzled jeans. But
hey, but you know,
there's a lot of great stuff.
There's some people who like bedazzled jeans.
Yeah, and there's artists that are in the area that didn't make it to the show or didn't come to the show, but will still come here and buy supplies. Because we have like Can Tattoo Supply or Eternal Ink or Fusion Ink. They're cheering for the guy in the area. It's just his first time.
Oh, it's his first time?
Yeah, I can tell that because of the 4 hooks going through his back.
Oh my God.
But he went up like a champ. Yeah. So it's another thing too. If you're watching the suspension show and you're like, I want to try that, they will get you hooked up.
Literally.
Literally hooked up.
All right.
So, but we've got a great thing happening here, and like I say, it is a community amongst us. There's at least 100 to 200, about 100 to 200 artists that will come to every show we do. Because they know they're going to be a well-run, well-oiled machine. It's going to be
especially if that's your business, it's a great place. I mean, when I was doing makeup artistry, I'd go to all the makeup shows, and it was great. You know, you knew which shows were really great, and you keep going back to them. You know?
Yeah, and we have artists that just get our schedule. We've had several just in this show already talking about 2019. And they're like, hey, can we pay for all the booths at once? You know, they just want to make sure they get the spot.
That's nice. You don't have to worry. At least you know you got the commitment.
Right, and we have those core artists. It's going to be a bigger year in 2019 for us, and I just see this going up and up and up. It creates a little bit of a monster.
It's growing and growing, and you know, I've been watching. I'm just petrified of needles. That's why I never got one myself, but I want, like, I'll put fake ones on just because I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
The difference between tattooed people and non-tattooed people, we don't care if you have tattoos.
No, but I love it. I love the artwork. And then my other problem is because of my commitment fear. So I'm like, as a stylist, I like to change everything all the time. So I always feel like, I don't know if I can live with that one thing for the rest of my life.
Well, you got a wedding ring on, so...
No, I'm not married.
Oh, that's not a wedding ring?
That's not a wedding ring.
Well, hey, girl. No, so you do have a commitment fear.
I do have a commitment
fear. I'm going to wear the ring for a while with my left hand just to see what it feels like. No, it's starting to burn.
I was engaged for 10 years, and I was engaged again for another 9.5 years, so that is a commitment fear.
Yeah, that's a commitment fear.
But I'm all about commitment. It's just, you know.
Well, then again, why get the government involved?
Exactly.
I mean, I've been to the DMV. It's a horrible process.
It is a horrible process.
So why get the government involved? We'll just work and let it go.
Exactly.
But
Carl, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time, and I know there's a lot going on today, so I don't want to hold you up.
I appreciate it.
But I will make sure I list everything in the show notes so that anyone listening and watching can actually stay in touch and come out to the show in their town.
Yeah, and again, check us out at villainarts.com. We're Villain Arts on Instagram, Villain Arts on Twitter. We're Villain Arts everywhere.
Awesome.
And you can link to all of our individual shows and find out when we're coming to your town.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Carl.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great day. Thank you, my lovelies, for stopping by, and I hope to catch you on the next time. Remember, it's never too late to begin the life of your dreams and leave a trail blazing behind you. So rock on and rock out, and I'll catch you on the flip side.